So I wound up going back and I just put this guy inside my while loop. And, as you can see, obviously, it just keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on and on forever. The reason why is because obviously I'm picking a letter and, I'm not getting it wrong because I'm not counting anything up wrong. And I'm also not getting it correct because it's a grand total of one letter and it's not even adding itself into the dashed word to compare it to the picked word. So, obviously, as this game stands right now, it will never end. That's okay. Let's start actually putting stuff inside this while loop to correct this. So, first thing we should probably do is we should probably print out for every single guess we get. We should probably print out, the Hangman, right? We're gonna have to print out this actual what level we're on. So we're currently on Hangman, and what part of Hangman are we in? We're part of Hangman wrong. So basically, what position are we? Right now we're starting out at position 0, which is right there. If we get something wrong, we'll add something to that position and then it'll print out a different one of these. So this is just basically telling me the position of where I am. Slot 0, slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, so on and so forth. So, we're going to have to first print out, while we're making a guess, we're going to have to print out where we are. Right? So, there we go. We'll print us out. And then, of course, we're also going to have to print out something. We're going to have to print out our dashed word. Right? So we know what the word we know what the word is. It's a random choice, whatever. And we're gonna have to print out and figure out what the word is. And then obviously we're gonna have to print out the letters that we have remaining, right? So we're gonna say, I don't know. I'll give letters, remaining, just to let people know that there's letters that they can still pick from. And the letters they'll pick from are, from... Oh yeah, that's right, they're from this word bank right here that I made. So they have that many letters remaining. And then, I will, end that out. Or, or I could, if I really want to, I'll even make more space here. I will put a \n. \n is a break. So basically, this is the enter key. If you want to make multiple enter keys or make more space, just do \n as its own separate string. You can do that. Okay, so I'm printing out these three things. So let's just, oops, no, I don't want to leave. Thank you, Google Chrome. So let's just execute this. We'll see what we've got so far. So I know that there's how many things I got left. And my word is 4 letters long. Okay, and here's the letters I can still pick from. Yay. So let's just pick a letter. A. And of course, obviously, it's still repeating for infinity, but it's looking a little bit closer because we printed out how much we have left of our person, and we printed out the dashed word, and we know how many letters we have. It's gotten better. So, we're going to have them have this guess, so on and so forth. But now we have to do something. We have to check to see if this guess is going to be, well, actually, let's do that in a moment. Let's first instead go and say, let's just add and remove things. So, we're going to just check and see something. So, so your guess is right? So, remember this used letters box here that has nothing in it? Well, let's add something to it. So, used letters is going to be appended. So, .append, we're going to add something to it. And what are we going to add to it? We're going to add our guess. So, no matter what we pick will now be added from the used letter. And you know what? We're going to also take our letter bank, which is our letters, right? We made this guy our letter bank, right? And we're going to remove it from that letter, right? So let's just go and remove. And what are we gonna remove? We're gonna remove our guess. So whatever we guess, we're gonna add it to our used letters, and we're gonna remove it from our letters that we still have available to pick. So now if I execute this, if I hit A, now the A is gone. If I hit B, now the B is gone. V will be gone, F will be gone, D will be gone, E will be gone, S will be gone, J will be gone. I keep removing stuff, but oh, I hit JK, I hit 2 letters at once and caused an error. That's okay. But as you see, B was only here, but now it's gone because I picked B. So, we are currently getting letters out of this bank, and we're putting it into the used bank. And if you even want to print this out and prove it, you can even go and say, you know, letters remaining, and if you really want to, we can do print, you know, something like letters already picked, and then comma, you know, used letters. Okay, so now execute, and there's currently no letters already picked. Pick a letter, A. See, so A is gone from this bin right here, but it's now in this bin. If I hit B, B is now out of this bin, but it's now in this bin. E is out of this bin, now it's in this bin. So, it's working as intended. So remember, if you ever want to, you know, check to make sure that something's working, you can always print it out in a print statement. So, there's one little thing we need to add on to this. We have to check to see if something's working, right? So we're gonna make ourselves, you know, what happens if we already picked the letter? Like, what if we pick A twice? Here, we'll execute that. A. Oh, A is not in the list. Oh crap, that's an error now because we removed it from the list. So, we have to make ourselves a while loop inside this while loop. So, while the guess is in, okay, so if it's in used, so if it's inside our used list here, so if it's inside this bank right here that says used letters, used letters, let me actually use the proper word that I used. Yeah. Let's just print, you know, something like, whoops, you've already picked that letter. Okay, and then we can say, you know, then we have to have them guess again. So guess will equal input, you know, pick another letter. Whoops. There we go. And of course, guess will have to equal guess.upper in order for it to always be uppercased. Because I can't remove something that doesn't exist, as you've seen. And right now, the lowercase letters do not exist. So now, if I were to try something like, you know, okay, let me hit an A. Okay, now let me hit an A again. You've already picked that letter. A. I've already picked that letter. A. I've already picked that letter. It's going to keep saying, while this guest is inside this used letters bin, which is why we had to make that bin, it won't let me make it. So now when I hit B, okay, now B, it let me move on and pick again. But now you see both are gone. So okay, B, you've already picked that letter. B, you've already picked that letter. B, you've already picked that letter. Okay, fine, I'll hit C. Okay, now C is gone from the list, and it let me move on. So this is just error coding and fixing things that potentially are, you know, situations where the person playing the game might screw up. And now, obviously, we cannot win this game yet. We cannot lose this game yet. We haven't started calculating, you know, how many times we've gotten it wrong. We haven't calculated putting the letters we get correct inside our dashed word. So we haven't figured out how we're winning this game yet either. But we've used 3 entire lists, or containers, and we've used, you know, we figured out how to add from them and subtract from them, and I think that's good enough for the first week of this assignment. So if you've gotten it down to this point where it's working like this, submit that guy through as part 1, and next week we will go into the next half of this assignment. And just to warn you, we will be inside this while statement again, but we will be creating an if statement inside the while statement, and then we will be creating a for loop inside the if statement inside the while loop. So, as I said, it's going to get a little bit more tricky. It's actually less letters of coding, but the logic behind the coding is going to be a little bit more to follow. And then, of course, you know, that'll be it, and then there'll be the actual test final. So, everyone have fun, get your file to up to about here, and then I'll see you all and have a great day.